Imagine waking up in the morning, grabbing your phone, and seeing that the one and only Naomi Campbell has not only liked one of your Instagram posts, but 8 of them. And then there is Khalees, that R&B icon that I looked up to in my teenage years and that I still look up to. She has not only liked your posts, she started following you. You wake up the next day, you see a comment of MC Hammer under your reels, and then likes from celebrities like Queen Latifah, Mos Def, Sons of Bob Marley, even sending me DMs of encouragement. Keep it up, sister. We are rooting for you. That was absolutely surreal. I thought I'm dreaming. I was like, pinch me, please. What is going on here? Just 6 months ago, when I started my journey through the African continent and decided to share my journey on Instagram and started posting regularly, I had no idea that my content could reach people like this. So today I want to take you behind the scenes of how I grew my followers on Instagram from 800 to over 70,000 within just a few months. What I learned along the way and tips that can help you grow too. But this journey wasn't about fame or numbers. That's the funny part. When I was living in Germany and Holland before I moved to the African continent, I spent years studying African studies and anthropology, thinking I would build my career in academia. But deep down, it wasn't fulfilling me. And on top of that, I understood that to do what I actually want to do, what fulfills me, which is to educate the people about the history, the cultures, the beautiful places on the African continent, I don't need a master's degree to do so. But there are many more reasons why I quit my master's program. Maybe that's a topic for a different episode. However, I packed my bags and I left Germany with my kids, quit my master's program, as I said, and took the leap into the unknown. And I can't believe, but I'm sitting here today in my beautiful home in Kenya, Nairobi. I became a travel content creator, which was absolutely not the plan, but I love it and it's so fulfilling. So there are thousands of travel content creators out there. The question is, what did I do that all of a sudden I blew up on Instagram, that my reels were featured on big media outlet platforms like NWE, Moyo Africa, African Stream, that people and celebrities like Naomi Campbell and Khalees and MC Hammer started commenting, liking, and following. Mind you, I was recording with my iPhone. I didn't have a drone. I had no editing skills, but I came to understand the one skill that made me stand out from the rest. And I truly believe that this is what makes me unique and more interesting compared to other travel content creators, is that I have mastered the art of storytelling. And this is, by the way, one of the biggest lessons I've learned. Storytelling is everything. As I said, we are in a world full of travel content creators. So how do you stand out? For me, it wasn't just about showing where I was, but why that place matters and what makes it unique. I wanted to capture not just the visuals, but the emotions, the feeling, the history, the culture of every place that I visited. You know, I'm always driven by a deep curiosity and the desire to understand the layers of these beautiful and complex locations. And here's my first big tip. Always approach each place and new destination with a story in mind. What story do you want to tell? And let your audience not only see the place through your eyes, but feel it. Now, let's talk about research. Before I visit each place, I always dig deep, like deep. I do my research, I read books, I read research papers, newspapers. Like, this is one thing I also like to do. Whenever I arrive in a new place, I always buy myself a newspaper, a local one, to see what's going on, what is the public discourse in the country. This is how you can get unique insights that you might not learn from mainstream media or from social media, because I know that many travel content creators, they just get their inspiration from other content creators. So they end up doing all the same thing, covering the same spots and visiting the same hidden gems, you name it. Try to learn about and understand the local traditions, the customs, the beliefs, and where they come from. it's really like you grow so much by learning about these new cultures and new realities that you are confronted with. Talk to the people and most importantly, listen to them. It's not about you. You are there to learn. And, of course, each one teach one. It's not just like a one-way road, right? When you travel, you also have to open up, go with an open heart and be open-minded and share something about you. And here's the thing, my most valuable insights come from on the ground conversations. I love to talk to taxi drivers, shopkeepers, Uber drivers, you name it. Like, believe me or not, but some of my best stories come from simply talking to the taxi driver who picks me up from the airport and drops me at my accommodation, or the shopkeeper that I meet along the way. These are the people who are on the ground, who are breathing the culture, living the culture. They'll tell you the real story, what's really going on in the country. The stories that tourists often miss because they prefer to be in their own world, with their earpods, listening to music, and not engaging in a conversation with their driver or with the local people around them in general. And I believe you miss out so much if you don't engage with the local people and just, listen to their stories and try to learn from them. Trust me, you get the best stories from these people, stories that you can eventually dig deeper into and do your further research. And you might get a story out of this that you want to share on Instagram or your YouTube channel that will absolutely blow people's minds and go viral. Just let me give you an example. So I was traveling the Tigray region in the beginning of this year when I spoke to a taxi driver who told me a crazy story. So he basically asked me if I have visited the Wugro Museum yet. And I said, no, I've never heard about that place, even though I know about most of the heritage sites, especially in the Tigray region, which is the region of my origin, where my mother comes from. And so he told me this crazy story. Just let me share it with you, because when I shared this on Instagram, it went viral. MC Hammer commented under this post. So many reggae artists shared and liked this post. It was unbelievable. So but I knew this story is just captivating. It must be told. It was about a village in the northern Tigray region where a Chinese construction company had the assignment of building a road. So during the construction, they started taking rocks from a big mountain to build the pavement for the asphalt. When they started taking rocks from this huge mountain, because it's a mountainous region, the local people, the farmers, the priests, they started protesting and complained at the local mayor, advised him to tell the Chinese people not to dare to touch that mountain. And the mayor didn't understand what's going on. They just told him, listen, we don't know what's under this mountain, but our parents and ancestors have taught us over generations, for hundreds of years, to never dare touch this mountain because there's something unholy beneath the surface. And so the mayor, because also Tigray is an open air museum, as it's also the place where the powerful Aksumite Empire was located, one of the foremost powerful empires during the ancient times. And so the mayor went there with a research team and archaeologists. Imagine what they found. Not even 5 meters below the surface, they uncovered a fully preserved temple from the Sabaean time. And this is wild. Like, can you imagine? Not even 5 meters below the surface, they find this ancient, fully preserved temple and many more treasures from the time when the Queen of Sheba was ruling the region. And so I shared this story because I found it's just not only a beautiful story, as it shows how through oral tradition, as a background information, the people in that region are mainly Orthodox Christian, and everything that precedes Christianity is considered as evil, as unholy. So I just found it fascinating how this strong Orthodox belief helped preserving this ancient treasure for centuries. Imagine 3,000 years. If this wasn't the case, And this is basically the case everywhere in Tigray. You're not allowed to just dig around there. You need the approval of the community because they know that there is a lot under their soil that needs to be protected or that should better not be uncovered. And this is also the reason why they were able to preserve their heritage for such a long time from invaders and looters. Otherwise, we would have probably ended up like Egypt with all our treasures looted and ending up in Western museums in New York, Berlin, Rome, you name it. So I found that this is a beautiful story to share, went viral. And yeah, this is just one example that I want to share with you. But what is very important, always approach people genuinely when you speak to them. When you respect their stories and their worldview, they will open up to you. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Don't belittle them. Listen to them closely. Let them speak and be genuinely interested. People can sense that if you just want to take a story out of them, right? So that's very important. Be genuine, be authentic, and be curious. These stories will enrich your content so much more than any guidebook ever could, believe me. Now, let's get into consistency. And, for a reason, they say consistency is key. When I started posting, I challenged myself with a 30 days reel challenge. So I committed myself to post a reel every day for 30 days. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was intense, but it taught me one of the most important lessons in content creation. Consistency isn't just about showing up, it's about showing that you are serious. After those 30 days, I decided to keep on posting regularly every second day to keep the momentum going. This regularity helped me to stay on people's radar and let Instagram's algorithm know that I was active. So here's another tip. Find a routine that works for you. Even if it's just once in a week, show up consistently and your audience will grow to expect and appreciate it. Now, let's talk about why being authentic matters. Me personally, I never set out to create viral content. I wanted to share stories that mattered to me. I started talking about topics that were somehow controversial. The stories that people didn't always want to talk about, that they would rather like to forget. But the reason why these stories mattered to me, and this is something that I also learned during my studies, during my African studies and my master's program when I was studying anthropology, is that people have to understand that the past is not the past if the legacy of this dark past still continues to affect the society today. And so because I saw how some aspects of the past were still haunting some societies, African societies today, I felt like it's important to educate the people about why we are facing these social political challenges in some parts of Africa. I always make it clear that while I'm promoting and showcasing the beauty of the African continent, the cultural diversity, with the aim of empowering, with the aim of showing that traveling to Africa is one of the most beautiful experiences that you can make. The people are so welcoming, so lovely, but still, the last thing that I will do is sell my audience a Disneyland version about the African past. We have our challenges. And I believe it's so important to speak about it if we want to grow, if we want to uplift the people, if we want to become better, if we want to solve the social political issues that societies on the African continent are facing today. And that is why I felt it was important to me to speak about matters like the legacy of colonialism, slavery, apartheid. And yeah, as I said, these were really controversial topics, but I also did this with the goal to learn from my audience. I always follow the principle of each one teach one. And that is also one reason why I have an extremely high engagement rate. Some of my posts and reels, they have an engagement rate of over 30%. And just in general, overall, my channel has an engagement rate which is above average, which is almost 5%. And so, yeah, this is something that also made me stand out, that made me visible. And again, I'm going to be real with you, it wasn't always easy. But when you speak your truth, people will resonate with it. That is one of the biggest lessons I've learned since I started this journey of travel content creation. Being real, being your authentic self, and speaking your truth, even if it's uncomfortable, is so powerful. And I truly believe that this is the number one reason why so many people, including celebrities, started following my journey through the African continent. The funny thing about putting yourself out there is that the world sometimes responds in ways you never expected. It was unbelievable, but I started getting messages from high-end boutique hotels, luxury resorts, tour agencies, asking me to collaborate with them. I didn't expect that at all. I even got an invitation by the Tigray Tourism Board to become the ambassador for the Ashenda Festival in 2024 this year. And even though just being asked felt like an incredible honor for me, I felt that I was not the right person for this role. I kindly declined the offer and suggested other female content creators who, in my opinion, would be a much better fit because they have a way bigger following than me, who embrace the culture much more than me, who are more immersed into the Tigrayan culture. And yeah, guess what they said? They said, no, we want you because we love your way of storytelling. We love your personality. Even though you cannot dress traditionally this year because you're currently on the island of Zanzibar, that's where I was. We want you because we love the way you represent our region, the stories that you tell about Tigray. And the other female content creators might be very beautiful and have a big follower count, right? And might have the right dress code. But we want you to be the ambassador of Ashenda. It was a big honor for me, but as I said, I had to decline the offer. It just didn't sit right with me. However, it taught me a very valuable lesson. If you stay true to your message, people will see the value in you beyond your follower count. Trust me. So these were my top tips if you're looking to grow on Instagram as a travel content creator, or basically as any content creator. 1, develop your storytelling angle. Don't just show where you go, tell the why behind the scenes. Number 2, do your research. Go beyond Google, please. Talk to locals, ask genuine questions, and dive deep into the stories that only people on the ground can tell. 3, be consistent. Show up for your audience regularly, even if it's just once in a week. Make it a routine. Number 4, create with authenticity. Share your real thoughts. Not just what you think that people want to hear, even if it makes them feel uncomfortable. Speak your truth. The world is craving authenticity, trust me. Last but not least, number 5, equally important, know your worth. Remember, your value isn't tied to the number of followers you have. It's the unique perspective that you and only you bring to the table. So if you've got dreams of growing your own platform, remember, it's not just about the number of followers, it's about making an impact. Be brave, be consistent, and most importantly, please be yourself. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found some value in it. Remember, you got this. I believe in you. And if you have any questions or tips, please share them with us in the comment section below. And I look forward to see you in the next video. Bye.